All frames are a must-have, that's a fact. They have their own strengths that makes them fun to play. However, there are certain frames that makes the grind a bit easier, and, in today's video, I will try to share what I consider to be the must-get first frames of 2019. But before we start, I would like to say a few disclaimer. The frames you'll see on this video are based from my experience playing the game. You may have a different perspective about this topic and you can share your opinions on the comment box below. In addition, the frames you'll be seeing here are in no specific order. All of the frames you see here have their own strengths and they helped me progress from being a noob to an advanced Warframe player. Okay, let's begin this video. Let's begin with starter frames. My starter frame was Volt. He was good, but right after I had Excalibur, I felt that I chose the wrong starter frame. Well, that's only my own opinion. Like I've said, Volt is good. I just felt like Excalibur is more suited for my noob playstyle. This frame can literally help you finish almost all the nodes in the star chart. It's because he is really easy to use. Not only that, but he also offers both firepower and crowd control. His fourth ability can dismantle almost all enemies in the game with ease, while his second ability, Radial Blind, is what I considered to be one of the best crowd control in the game. The best part is, when you hit those enemies with your Exalted Blade, while they are blinded, they will receive more damage. In fact, it can even wreck these level 100 plus corrupted enemies, even when your Excalibur is just modded with some of the most basic mods in the game. Now, here's a beginner-friendly build for Excalibur. You can follow it if you want, but for those who are looking for a more endgame-worthy build, then I suggest that you wait for my endgame Excalibur video for 2019. I will upload it probably this week, or the next. There, I will detail all the things you need to know on how to own endgame enemies with Excalibur. So, that's Excalibur. He's really great as a starter frame. Well, he won't be a poster boy in Warframe if he ain't special. The next one is yet another noteworthy starter frame. It's Rhino. He's not really in the selection menu for starter frames, but you can easily get him from defeating the Jackal on Fossa in Venus. This frame may not have the firepower that Excalibur have, but what he offers are good survivability, amazing crowd control, and damage buff for weapons. The survivability part will be taken care of his Iron Skin ability. Mod this with lots of power strength, and you'll get as much ferrite armor as you want to withstand any enemy attacks. A piece of advice: if you have the platinum to get his Ironclad Charge Augment, and Iron Shrapnel Augment, then I advise you to do so, as it will give you more tanking capability. On the other hand, Rhino can also be good when it comes to damage because of his Roar ability. Most certainly, this ability will aid you kill even the hardest bosses in Star Chart mission. And lastly, his Stomp is one heck of a crowd control ability. It has a really wide radius that you can stun locker room if you mod your Rhino with lots of range. Speaking about modding, here's a beginner-friendly build for Rhino. This build offers survivability, crowd control and damage buff. If you don't have these augments just yet, then you can replace it with any mods that you like. You can mod it with another power strength, or even range, or even a duration mod, depending on your preference. Aside from a good starter frame, you also need a farmer frame on your arsenal, and who's more suited for this job than Loot Daddy himself, Nekros. This frame doesn't increase your luck in farming important things in this game, but what he does is increase the number of things you gain from a certain mission. His Desecrate ability grants you the power to have extra loot, and, based from my experience, this ability is more reliable compared to other loot buffing abilities. And yes, he can summon the undead. So, what more can you ask for? Owning Nekros could be a challenge for new players, as you'll have to face Lephantis and Oregon Derelict Assassination, but the truth is, this can easily be done by Rhino. Once you have Nekros, focus on modding it for farming purposes. Now, this is my first build for Nekros, and it's basically a solo farmer build. Again, this build is a personal preference, and you may follow it or not. Also, I don't have my endgame set up like those Umbral mods in here, because like I said earlier, this was my first build, and most likely, I was at mid-level plays on this time. I was able to finish almost all nodes in the star chart, except for those Archwing missions, and I have gathered some platinum from diving into Fisher missions with my Rhino or Excalibur, and selling those prime parts for some silver coins. Also included in my must-get first list is Ivara. She can cheese spy mission, can do endless interception mission, and as well as do solo survival mission with ease. Hell, she can even hunt Eidolon. She's really a versatile frame, and the only thing she can't do well is those mission that requires you to rush something, as most likely, Ivara players will use her prowl ability, which lowers her movement speed. Now, let's talk about modding. For spy missions, just go with lots of duration, with some power strength, and her infiltrate augment. With this augment, you will be literally unseeable, as you can even walk through those lasers and other defensive mechanisms can't detect you. Now, I did add up some power strength in this build, as the increased movement from infiltrate is affected by this stat. If you want to go solo survival, then this is the build that I'm recommending for you, a balance build, that makes your quiver and prowl ability highly efficient. Now, I have an awesome synergy between Ivara and Redeemer Prime, which you can watch later. I will just leave a link at the end of this video. Lastly, for interception mission, I highly recommend using a max range, plus efficiency and duration Ivara. Most likely, what we will be using here are his noise arrow and prowl. Why do interception mission, you asked? It's because tier 3 and void interception missions gives you relics, which you can use to get prime parts, and then sell it for platinum. For a detailed guide on how to use Ivara effectively in solo interception, I highly recommend checking out my solo interception guide, which I also leave the link at the end of this video. For now, let's proceed to one of my favorite all-rounder frame, the Gunslinger, Mesa. Mesa is one hell of a gunslinger. If you want to play Wild West in Warframe, and literally aimbot almost every enemies in this game, then this is the frame for you. There's really no need for any long introduction for this frame, or any detailed script on what she can do. What you need to know is that she literally kills everything that is within the range of her Peacemaker ability. Aside from the fact that she hits hard, you can literally get Mesa Prime right now. She's easy to get now compared to her regular version, which you'll get from killing Mutalist Salad V on Eris. In terms of modding, I'm packing an all-rounder build for Mesa right now, a build that focuses on utilizing all her abilities. This has crowd control capability through her shooting gallery skill, a tanking capability with the 95% damage reduction coming from her shatter shield, and of course, damage capability coming from her Peacemaker. The power strength may not be enough for you, but this is sufficient in my opinion. All you need to do is mod your regulator pistols the right way, so your Peacemaker can hit harder. Now that we are done with starter, farming, and high-level frames, let's proceed to two of my favorite easy endgame frames. The first one is hidden in your dojo, a diamond on the rough. It's the immortal Monkey King, Wukong. Just a piece of advice: every time you see an ethane extract alert, go finish it, as it will become handy in crafting Wukong and other frames like Vauban that needs this resource. So anyway, why choose Wukong as an easy endgame? Simple, it's because of his insane survivability. With his defiability, you can last really long in endurance runs. With the ability to become almost immortal, you only need to bring a strong endgame weapon to demolish everything that is in your path. For my endgame setup, I usually mod my Wukong this way, a mix of EHP mods, plus the adaptation mod, and then coupled with lots of duration, to make Defy really efficient. For my weapon, I usually use my heavy blade Zor with this frame. Zor are really powerful in my honest opinion, and they can easily be endgame worthy, and perfectly paired with an immortal frame like Wukong. One quick tip: if you are going for a melee setup for Wukong, then I advise you to choose the Naraman focus tree, and then equip Power Spike. This node over here greatly increases your damage, as this help you keep your high combo counter. The second easy endgame frame is Nidus. We all know that this frame is well designed, his abilities synergizes well with each other. He offers good crowd control, insane survivability and mostly, awesome ability damage. A simple tweak on how you mod this frame will make it godly, and perfect for long endurance runs. In fact, he doesn't need any crazy weapon with crazy ravens, to kill enemies, as his ability alone can get the job done. In endgame levels, you only need support weapons like the Pox to strip enemy armors, and then you can own them with your virulence. The best part is, he's also unkillable just like Wukong, given the fact that you can maintain your mutation stack. For this frame, I usually run this build right now, a mix of EHP, power strength and a lot of range, to make good use of his lava and link ability. Now that we are done with endgame frames, let's proceed to the final frame, the boss killer, Chroma. You want a sortie boss, or an Eidolon, or even a big freaking spider dead? Then look no further, and go grab Chroma. He's perfect in taking down single target bosses because of his insane damage buff. Now, Chroma was really a pain to farm in the past, as you need to complete almost everything in the star chart. Good thing is that his Prime version was released a little while ago, that you can even buy the set for cheap from players. Now how do I usually mod my Chroma? I'm still using this build. It's the Idol and Hunter Chroma setup I've shown you recently, and for a more detailed explanation on each mods, and how to use Chroma effectively in general, I suggest that you take a look at that video later. I'll leave the link on that at the end of this video. So that's it. Those are all my picks for the must get first frames for this year. Now, I plan on doing other list videos, like top endgame setup, and endgame frames, so be sure to watch out for it. Like always, please leave a like if you enjoyed watching this video. Also, you can subscribe on our channel if you want to see more informative Warframe videos like this, and also, you can check out our Discord server, if you want to hang out with the squad. I will be having another giveaway soon, and it will be hosted on our Discord server, so be sure to check it out. Lastly, you can follow me on Twitter if you want. Link to my Twitter, and as well to our Discord server are on the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad leader signing off.
Skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.